Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man, Dr. Wily's Revenge. So, in the last video, we had just beaten Man, and this completed the first 4 Robot Master stages, so now we move on to the Dr. Wily stages. And if you're familiar with the kind of MO of Mega Man, or the way things usually go, the Dr. Wily stages are usually ridiculously tough, and, like, notoriously unmerciful or merciless in the way they torture you, but these ones are actually not too bad, I guess. In keeping with the difficulty of the rest of the game, most of these levels are not that punishing, but again, that could just be the fact that I spent literally all of December so far, in terms of entertainment, playing this game and, you know, getting to know the patterns. So, you know, the first time you play through, not gonna go as smoothly as it goes for me here, but, you know, it's just kind of par for the course when you've had so much time to get to know the intricacies of this. And, yeah, I mentioned in the last video, there's only 2 Dr. Wily stages, which is, I wouldn't want to say a massive disappointment. It doesn't ruin the game, but it is a lot less than you're used to if you're familiar with the NES Mega Man games. But, you know, it's a handheld version. I feel like I'm saying this a lot, like, negative thing, and then kind of taking it back because it's a handheld version. But it's true, you gotta look at the context, not only when it came out, but also the hardware it came out on. So yeah, these are relatively faithful Dr. Wily stages, I guess, except for the fact that they're not that difficult. Music's pretty rockin', a little bit sinister. Spikes everywhere that can kill you instantly, and really that is how I die most times, if I do die on these levels, is just making a stupid mistake and getting my ass killed by the spikes. The enemies themselves are not really that tricky. It's all stuff that's just kind of rehashed from the first 4 Robot Master levels. The one thing I don't really like is that you fight 5 bosses on this level alone, and that's something that's not new to Mega Man, like fighting a lot of bosses in one stage. But in this one, it just kind of feels like they throw in, you know, an extra 4 Robot Masters and then a mini-boss, rather than having 8 Robot Master levels. And obviously, 8 is the magic number when it comes to Mega Man early levels before you get to a Dr. Wily stage. So it kind of feels like an imitation in that sense. But, oh, I got lucky I used the carry there, otherwise I would have been totally flayed by those spikes. But yeah, again, handheld version, not bad. There are sequels to this game, actually. At least 2 sequels that I have not checked out. I only have this one, but apparently they all follow basically the same formula. So while this one is a rehashing of Mega Man 1, Mega Man 2 bosses, the next one is like Mega Man 2 and Mega Man 3, and then Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 4, and so on and so forth. Which I'm not necessarily opposed to. I mean, if I had had those when I was a kid, I'm sure I would have had a ball, but now it doesn't necessarily seem like that's really what I'm looking for out of a Mega Man game. Like, I like my Mega Man games, you know, 9 and 10. I like them to be retro-styled, but also comprehensive. So this part kind of takes some getting used to, or at least some messing around in order to figure out the strategy. If you just run through here, you will get killed every single time. There's no weapon combination you can use that will make you invincible through here. All you've got to do, take it very, very slow. Very, very slow. Because the screws will never come down exactly where you're standing. So, as long as you inch your way through the level, you'll find yourself protected. Yeah, so in the whole scheme of things, that's not that tough once you get used to it. So we're about to enter, let's call it the second half of the level here. We're gonna start fighting the Robot Masters. And these bosses are actually really, really easy, provided you know the weapon order that you need to use. Although, to be fair, at least a couple of them can be beaten with the Mega Buster, if that's your style. This is one of them, Bubble Man. One of the less inspiring or inspired Mega Man bosses, in my opinion. So yeah, Bubble Man, every time you shoot, he shoots as well. So as long as you're moving up or down, you're safe to shoot at him because his bullets won't hit you. The only hard part is, like, making sure you don't get hit by his bubbles. And when he throws 2 out, I get hit by them every single time. But, you know, this guy, if you lose to this guy, let's just say you won't lose to this guy if you've gotten this far in the game. He's one of the easier bosses from probably the Mega Man franchise as a whole. And he gives you that bubble power-up when you defeat him, which you'll see soon is actually essential to progressing in the game. Yeah, so we'll get that health and then go into the warp. What did we unlock? You got Bubble Lead. Excellent. And there's that creepy Mega Man picture again. Alright, so we're going to move down here to Heat Man. And we're going to use the bubble power-up that we just got against him, and it should make short work of him. 5 bubbles will kill Heat Man. Normally you can get out of this without getting hit, but sometimes I get tagged anyway. Doesn't really matter because you get so much health for beating each boss, but you know, it's nice to stay full. Let's put it that way. Oh, I missed that one. I can't believe it. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we'll go into the warp and then move on to the 3rd boss that we will face at the end of this level. So we got Atomic Fire, which is actually misleadingly listed as HE in our inventory, but anyway. So we're gonna move on to Flashman, who can freeze time and shoot at you. Probably the hardest boss that you'll face here, and, you know, maybe 5 times out of 10, so 50% of the time, I'll get pretty low on health fighting this guy. It's not always a cakewalk like it is with the other guys. You want to use Rolling Cutter because it does a lot of damage, and of course it has the chance to hit him twice, which is pretty important. Ooh, this is gonna be close. Oh, okay, I got lucky. No, not lucky. It was skill, but I'm lucky I have this much skill, if you know what I'm saying. So we will get his freeze time ability, which we will immediately use on the next boss. Not because it's necessary, but just because we might as well. We don't really get a chance to use it for the rest of this level, and all of our weapon power-ups refill before we start the 2nd Wily stage, so why not? So yeah, we're gonna fight Quickman. And we're going to be unfair and use Flashman's power right at the beginning to take off, you know, maybe 40% of his health. And from then on, you just want to use the Atomic Fire that you got from Heat Man, and this will make pretty short work of him. You can get away, you can like dodge his attacks, but at this point, there's really no purpose to it because I was not in any risk of losing very much health. Alright, so then we get Quickman's Boomerangs, which will become, you know, paramount to our success in the 2nd Wily stage. But first we have to beat the big boss of this level. It's actually, you know, kind of difficult. This sword-wielding, you know, General Otto von Bismarck helmet-wearing type robot master here with a sword. You can only hit him when his sword is up, because the sword, I guess, sucks in the Mega Buster bullets or something. And then, the more you shoot the sword while he has it up, the more powerful it becomes, so the more it hurts when he actually hits you with it. But luckily, that doesn't seem like it's going to be too much of a concern right now. It was actually a relatively, I don't want to say flawless, but relatively flawless run through the first Dr. Wily stage. So for beating that, we get the Mirror Buster, which we absolutely need to beat the game. Thank you for watching, see you next video.